Welcome to Falcon Update here on YBTV. I'm Rosie Sciano.
And I'm Reed Milliken. Before we start our show, we're going to hear from Charlie Jones. He's standing in the Howe atrium right now for the We're Not Really Strangers social event. Charlie.
Thanks, Reed and Rosie. I'm reporting live from Boyer Atrium, where the Messiah Council of Family Relations is hosting We're Not Really Strangers. This event is open to all Messiah students, so come on down and join your friends and peers in a round of intrapersonal reflection, intentional conversation, and fellowship through the thoughtful and engaging card game of We're Not Really Strangers. This event will allow students to come and enter themselves into a raffle to win their very own copy of the game. It'll run till 9 p.m., so come on down and join in the fun. For YBTV, I'm Charlie Jones. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Charlie. This looked like a great time. This past week, the Department of Biological Sciences hosted their 99th annual Pennsylvania Academy of Science meeting. This event is for students all across colleges and universities all across Pennsylvania to come and share their research that they have been working on. This event gives students a platform to present their hard work and discoveries in front of an audience. If you would like to get involved in the biology department, you can visit their Instagram at Messiah Biology.
SAB hosted their high-stakes bingo night, and boy, did it live up to its name. Students flooded into Hostetler Chapel last night to play an extreme version of the beloved game. Students had an extra set of rules, including having to clear your board of all numbers with a 5 in them, or swapping boards with someone else halfway through the game. If students were able to win one of these ludicrous, burlesque, and, quite frankly, preposterous games, they were able to take home some sizable prizes. You can follow SAB on Instagram at MessiahSAB to stay up to date on the next high-stakes bingo night.
Senior Quinn Cameron showcased 4 years' worth of intensive musical skill and preparation with his senior jazz recital, taking place in the High Center Recital Hall. Cameron showcased his extensive musical abilities with arrangements done by both himself and others. The recital served as the accumulation of his time within the music program at Messiah, as well as a personal love letter to jazz.
My name is Quinn Cameron. I'm a senior music education major here at Messiah. Jazz is, to me, while I think that all types of music are important, I think jazz is really the music that's been nearest and dearest to my heart. I had not really been involved in it until my sophomore year of high school. I went to the All-State Vocal Jazz Festival, and I immediately fell in love with the tight vocal harmony and all sorts of wonderful things that come about with singing in a small group of people. And in coming to Messiah, I found those people to sing with, and I found professors who are willing to support me. I'm hoping to apply and get accepted into the Masters of Jazz Studies program at the University of North Texas, and this recital was part of the audition process, filming it and sending it out. So I'm just hopeful that the Lord lets me continue to pursue this thing that I love so much, and I just can't wait to see what's next.
SAB threw a bouquet pop-up outside the Agape Center this past Thursday. Roses and tulips and daffodils, oh my! A plethora of flower types were available for students to select from, each taking home a uniquely constructed bouquet. The event was a raging success as students wrapped up around JK Atrium, waiting for a chance to forge their flowery floral foliage formations. SAB hosts pop-ups just like this one all semester long, so be sure to follow them on Instagram at Messiah SAB to stay updated.
We'll be right back with more Falcon Update after this break.
When I visited Messiah, I loved the community here, and it made me feel really welcome, and the applied health science major was the perfect fit for what I wanted to study.
We're training students at Messiah to be leaders in the allied health professions. They're going to make an incredible impact on the health of others all over the world. Our students can choose concentrations in pre-professional, pre-physical and occupational therapy, pre-athletic training, and in exercise science.
I did an internship where I was able to shadow some strength and conditioning sessions with our men's soccer team, and that was really a meaningful experience for me to apply what I know.
All of the professors I had were really focused on integrating Christ into what we did in the classroom and reminded us of the way that God created us and how we can see that in other people as we go on from here.
And then we also teach them ways to interact with their future clients, patients, athletes in ways that not only are focused on writing effective prescription or rehabilitation, but really seek to support people in their journey, mind, body, and spirit.
In my senior seminar class, we have had the opportunity to work with a client as a conditioning consultant, and I've found this experience really valuable because I've been able to put into practice what I've learned into class into a practical situation.
Our students have a real advantage. In many cases, they've had additional training above and beyond what's necessary to gain entry into graduate programs.
So I'm really grateful for the opportunity that this program has offered me.
Welcome back to Falcon Update. I'm Reed Milliken.
And I'm Rosie Schiano. Reed, how was your week?
My week was pretty good. You know, it's busy. It's a busy time of year, coming up on finals week.
Yes.
Workload is certainly gearing up. How about you?
I would have to agree. My week was pretty good. I think it was like my last calm week of the year. It wasn't even that calm, but it's just about to speed up from here on out.
Yes, I agree. Well,
Yes.
you know, we just got to soak up the good days while we have them because the clouds have parted, the heavens have opened, and the sun is shining on us once again. Hopefully Jessica Fannin forecasts that sun to continue with this week's Falcon Forecast. Jess?
Hello and welcome to this week's Falcon Forecast. I'm Jessica Fannin. We have a beautiful week ahead of us, so let's get right into it. So right now we're sitting at about 73 degrees, and since we just had a solar eclipse, I'll share some moon facts with you. Tonight's moon will be a first quarter phase, which means that it will be 48.93% illuminated, and it has been a little over 7 days since the last new moon. But you didn't come here to hear about the moon, so let's see our surface map. So there's a lot going on in this surface map, but let me break it down for you. So earlier in the week, we're going to get some low air pressure, which will bring some wind and some clouds, but that will be pushed out by some high air pressure. And midweek, we will also get a stationary front, which brings some clouds. Let's take a look at our temperature. So I love to see a temperature map like this. It's a little bit more orange this week, just means that we're going to have temperatures between 70 and 78 degrees. I love warm weather, so this week is looking pretty good for me. Let's take a look at our humidity. So our humidity ranges are all over the place this week. Around Tuesday and Monday, we're going to have lower humidity, but it will peak on Wednesday and Thursday at about 76%, which is when we're going to experience most of our precipitation. Let's take a look at our next graphic. So Tuesday is looking beautiful. We have some sun on Tuesday. Sunrise is at about 6 a.m., and our high will be 73 degrees around 5 p.m. Tuesday doesn't have too much to look out for. There's a little bit of rain in the forecast, but later in the afternoon, the weather should smooth out, and there'll be a nice cool breeze. Let's take a look at the whole week. So the whole week, as you can see, is pretty sunny. It's going to be a gorgeous week. Only on Wednesday and Thursday will we experience some precipitation. There's about a 60% chance at 2 p.m. on Wednesday, and Thursday also has a little bit of rain in the forecast. But other than that, it's going to be a gorgeous week, and I know we're heading towards finals, but guys, take some time for yourself and get outside and enjoy this weather. Have a great week, Messiah.
Thank you, Jessica. Reed, now that spring has sprung, how are you spending your time outside?
You know, Rosie, I'm glad that Jess said something about the moon because that is something that I have to pay attention to.
Okay.
Because every full moon, things just get a little hazy for me. You know, I don't really know what the correlation is there, but like every
Okay.
time I look up and I see a full moon, it's like just instantly to the next morning. I don't really know what that's about.
That's kind of weird,
But,
but only when it's a full moon.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I don't know. That's just how I've been spending my spring. How about you?
I've been spending some time outside. Track meets are now outside. It's outdoor season, so they've been a little rainy. So I'm really hoping that the forecasts here have been, or hoping to be sunny outside.
I agree.
But yes,
I agree.
yes.
I agree. That'd be wonderful.
Emma Dingus as campus, how they're spending their time outside on this week's Falcon on the Street. Emma?
I'm Emma Dingus, and for this week's Falcon on the Street, we're asking students, now that spring has sprung, what are your plans?
To go hammocking with my friends.
My plans are to go to the track and jump a little bit for track practice. I know it's nicer out. We can actually jump into the sand, which is nice.
Just go hammocking by the breeches and hopefully go canoeing for the first time.
Now that spring has sprung, it's time to get It's time to get rung.
I'm looking forward to being able to have club outside for wildlife.
Yeah, so just hanging out with my beautiful best friend Emma.
So for me, like going back home, relaxing, like I live only like 20 minutes away from the beach, so like it's free, roughly I think, only for a few more days, but like I'm very excited for the beach weather and just like the warm air and everything else. Not allergy season though, but other than that, it's quite good.
I'm gonna go take a hike and enjoy the sunshine.
Well, those sound like some great plans. Personally, I'm going to go on some hikes, watch some baseball, and just enjoy time with friends. For Falcon on the Street, I'm Emma Dingus.
Thanks, Emma. Semester is winding down, but campus life is still on the up and up. With more, here's Sadie McFarland with this week's campus calendar.
Good evening, Messiah University. My name is Sadie McFarland, and I've got the final campus calendar of the semester. We've got a busy week, so let's see what's popping on campus. On Tuesday, Campus Ministries invites you to the Movement and Dance Chapel at 9:30 a.m. in Palmer Hall. Come prepared to experience the power of God through movement as we worship together. And on Wednesday, Human Rights Association presents God of Liberation, a faith perspective on human rights. The event will take place in Klein 120 from 6 to 7:30 p.m. Attendees will enjoy a panel-style discussion around Black and Palestinian theology. And finally, on Saturday, Minds Matter presents their semi-annual Neurodiversity Fair in Jordan Lounge from 5 to 7 p.m. This event is a great way to learn about neurodiversity through fidget bags, fun activities, and more. That's the scoop on this week's campus calendar. It's been a pleasure serving you, Messiah. I hope to see you around campus this week, the rest of the semester. Have a great week, Messiah. For Sadie McFarland, back to the desk.
Dr. David Dixon is a beloved member of the Comm Unity and Comm Department here at Messiah, but he's trekked far wider than just our Grantham campus. Caitlin Mitchum tells us more in this week's Beyond the Breeches.
Hi everyone, welcome back to another Beyond the Breeches. My name is Caitlin Mitchum, and come along with me as we discover more about Dr. Dixon and his time in Africa.
Sure, I'm Dave Dixon. I'm co-chair of the Department of Communication. I went to Africa when I was in first grade. My parents were missionaries, so it was a long time ago. And then I grew up there through the end of high school before I came back to Messiah for college. The opportunity to grow up in Kenya allowed me to have a very global perspective that I might not have had otherwise. Certainly it exposed me to both American and Kenyan cultures, but Kenya is a relatively cosmopolitan place in Africa, and so people from all over the world are in Kenya and in Nairobi, and so I was really exposed to that sort of global culture early on, and it definitely shaped my outlook. So the place where I grew up, Kijabi, is on the side, literally the side of the Rift Valley. So the Rift Valley is the largest valley system on the planet. It stretches, depending who's measuring it, from just north of the Sea of Galilee down into southern Africa. I mean, it's enormous. The section that I live along, the valley rim at the top is about 9,000 feet above sea level, and the valley floor is about 6,000 feet, so that's a 3,000 foot drop, and I lived on the side of that. I enjoy so much of Africa. Africa really is home to me. Kenya is home to me. And even today, you know, when I land in Nairobi, I just sense that. I feel like I'm home. So it's about the people, the places, the animals, I mean, just everything about it. But especially the people are really special to me.
That's all for this week's Beyond the Breeches. From YBTV, I'm Caitlin Mitchum.
Thank you, Caitlin. We've got all things Messiah Sports coming up with James and Cameron right after this.
Being able to talk about faith and Christianity and what that means is important to me, because working in a secular environment, a lot of times questions of ethics and morality come into play. And I think having a faith-based education really equips people and our students to be able to go out into the workforce and be able to serve their communities ethically and morally and be confident about who they are in their Christianity.
The MSAT at Messiah University is this 2-year master degree that's also paired with students that will be completing the 5-year accelerated MSAT, completing their bachelor's and their master's. We have experienced, dedicated, passionate athletic training faculty that are ready to teach the next generation of athletic trainers, to teach our students how to integrate their faith into their role as a healthcare provider. And we have a strong and growing list of clinical experiences that will allow students to experience athletic training in a variety of settings.
Messiah has helped me see my career anew because of the multiple opportunities that I have on campus to travel with the career centers. And so because of that, I've been able to obtain an internship through Messiah, and that's just amazing. I never would have gotten that opportunity without Messiah.
Messiah definitely gave me an idea of what my future could look like. It gave me a vision for all the possibilities that existed for my life through the example of alumni, other students that were just a little bit ahead of me in coursework, the professors that came before me and maybe have graduated from Messiah. There's just such a community that existed and a model of success that was proven time and time again through Messiah. And so that was kind of one of the reasons why I chose to come here and why I continue to love it.
Absolutely filthy goal there. Boom goes the dynamite.
Welcome back to another edition of YBTV Sports. I'm Cameron Fisher.
And I'm James Hellman. It's been a busy week at Messiah with all the spring sports in action as the Falcons soared to an impressive 10-2 combined record this week.
If you were down in Starry Fields this weekend, you probably noticed the Track and Field Messiah Invitational going on. The men's team captured first place out of 17, and the women's team also took first place as well. They compete again this Saturday at the Mason-Dixon Invitational.
Men's volleyball finished their season on Thursday, losing to Misericordia in the MAC semifinals. The Falcons went up 2-1, but the Cougars stormed back, winning the last 2 sets. Zach Barbado led the way for the Falcons with 15 kills, and the team finished the season with a very respectable 16-10 record.
With volleyball over, we now only have our spring outdoor sports left. And all this warm weather has got me thinking about traveling, so let's take a trip on this week's Falcon 4.
Messiah men's lacrosse team traveled to Eastern on Wednesday for the second conference game of the season. In an offensive battle of a game, Mike McNelly put the Falcons up for good late with this nice play. So there you see Jesse Lynch has the ball. He's going to move it over to Seth Libby. Libby down to McNelly, and McNelly going to get a little hesitation there and rip a shot top corner from outside far away there. You see the celly from the bench. There go the water bottles. We're going to take another look at this one here. McNelly has the ball below the cage, just that little hesitation, gets some space from the defender. Defender tries to slash his stick, but not in time. McNelly puts that one away. McNelly would lead the Falcons with 7 goals as Messiah would win 15-12. The Falcons won at Albright to finish out the week as they are now 3-0 in conference play. They are in action next on Wednesday night when they host Widener.
Staying in lacrosse for a battle of the birds between the Eastern Eagles and our Messiah Falcons, Kendall Bailey got in on the scoring parade with her first goal. Here we see Bailey storming in, ripping a shot, and as the team celebrates her, as that will be her first career goal. We take a look at it closer here as she storms in and goes 5-hole, and the team is so happy for her. That would end up being Bailey's first career goal as the Falcons come out on top in the bird battle, 17-1.
The Messiah baseball team was in action on Saturday against York College for a conference doubleheader. After dropping Game 1, the Falcons looked to bounce back in Game 2. Down by 1 in the 4th inning, Drew Hurst got the rally going with this nice piece of hitting. So here, 1-2 count, bases loaded. Drew Hurst puts that one into opposite field, and after a slip by the left fielder, that's going to get down for a single. 1 run's going to come in. The bases are going to stay loaded, but that's going to tie the game up there in the bottom of the 4th. So we're going to take a look at this one, zoom in on it. Drew Hurst, just a really good piece of hitting there, getting it to opposite field, staying in the at-bat with 2 strikes, and that would tie the game for the Falcons. The Falcons would then go on to score 6 runs in the 4th and win this one 9-2, splitting the doubleheader behind strong performances from Hurst as well as Dustin Eisenagel and Joshua Ammons. Messiah would then take the series, winning 11-5 at York on Sunday. The Falcons are back in action on Tuesday at home against Lebanon Valley College.
Next, we head over to the softball diamond, where the Falcons had to deal with the Devils of Dickinson. Up 5-0 in the bottom of the 6th, Candace Schlabach would put up 2 more courtesy of this moonshot. First pitch here, as that is a laser to left center field, and no doubt about it, 7-0 Falcons here. Team comes out to celebrate her, and as they storm out here, crossing the plate, we'll take a look at it again. First pitch, swing, and gone for Candace Schlabach, as the Falcons would end up winning that one 7-1 or 7-0, excuse me, as Fallon Fieser picked up a 6-inning shutout, and Alexa Berger had 2 runs and 2 RBIs. Speaking of softball, our own Jessica Fannin got to sit down with Sierra Emery to talk about Messiah's own only musical theater major to play a sport as well. Jessica?
Hello, I'm Jessica Fannin, and I got the chance to speak to Sierra Emery. She is the only musical theater major at Messiah University to play softball at the same time. Let's hear a little bit more about what that experience has been like.
Usually when I'm in a season for a musical or a play or whatever, so like our musicals in the springtime and then our plays in the fall, what my schedule usually looks like is I'll have classes from 9 to maybe 2:45, and then I'll go straight to practice for about 3 hours, well, depending on the day. So sometimes we'll have 2-hour practices, and then I'll go straight to rehearsal, grab a quick dinner in between there, and I'll be at rehearsal till 9 or 10 o'clock, depending on the director.
When deciding to come to Messiah, she was advised against becoming a musical theater major and playing softball at the same time, due to its strenuous load. Knowing she loved them both, she decided to make it work.
I'm so grateful that I decided to go down this route, though it's been very challenging to kind of navigate, because I have 2 completely different families that I absolutely adore and would do anything for. When I do have tough days, ideally, I'd like to say I always give it to God. I'm working more on that, and just being able to lean on Him more. God, through the years, has thrown me so many different curveballs in my life and just challenges that I've had to go through. And He's constantly teaching me how to kind of lean on Him more and trust on Him more, but I'm definitely not perfect at it.
Over the years, though she says it has been a struggle, Emery has found ways to balance the many parts of her daily life and still find time for family and friends.
When I'm on the softball field, I'm obviously very excited to be there, and I love being there all the time. But then I also get to come here and kind of put the softball me away and get the theater rolled out, in a sense, but be appreciative that I get to do both.
Emery said that both softball and musical theater have taught her many things about herself. For YBTV, I'm Jessica Fannin.
What an interesting story. I know I always love getting to hear about different athlete stories on campus, kind of getting into more of that human side of sports.
I agree, James, and we here at YBTV have been able to tell a ton of great stories about different people all across campus. And in fact, this year YBTV even took home 2 awards about that. We won 2 Keystone Media Awards this year. That's Caleb Kukin there. He won 2nd place in Best Sports Coverage, and YBTV as a whole won Best News Broadcast. So congratulations to our EP right here, Rosie, to Caleb, who's directing in the back, and just YBTV as a whole. We're just so proud of everyone. We're very excited. Yeah.
Thank you, Reed, for those kind words. And honestly, just being here with YBTV, it's a group effort, and those awards would not be able to be done and given to us without everybody's effort and drive. So as a whole, YBTV, thank you. But that is all that we have for this Falcon update, but Sarah Marshall will be hosting YB Tonight right after this.
Alyssa, what am I doing? She's not a coat. Oh my gosh. Caleb, I don't know what we're going to do if we don't find her. Thought I would get a better view from up here, but I'm really not. No, that's not working. It's not working. Can we go in here? Nope, not in there. You can't even see through the window because the doors are closed on the opposite side. I think I hear some piano in here, so we're going to go in here. Alyssa, I found you. I'm so happy. I'm so relieved. Hello. Hello, and welcome to YB Tonight, live from the basement of Hofstadter. I'm your host, Sarah Marshall, and we have a fun-packed show tonight. First, we'll sit down with the President and Vice President of the History Club, AJ Memlar and Lizzie Heiser. Then I'll sit down with Alyssa Shutt to talk about her musical talents. She will finish the show with a performance on the guitar. But first, let's see this week's Bird's Eye View. We will be back after the break that follows. Hello, and welcome to this week's Bird's Eye View. Today we are going to be talking with Alyssa Shutt and learn a little bit about what she does. So let's go find her, shall we? Hello everyone, we're here with Alyssa Shutt and she's going to be doing a little bit of piano for us. So let's start off with that. Go ahead. Goodness, that was so pretty. Are there any like extracurricular things you do on campus to kind of use that major?
Yeah, sure. I am in worship community, so I play a lot in chapels and I sing a lot as well. I'm also the worship coordinator for Student Men Chapel team. That's a lot of fun. And I'm also Powerhouse president. So
that's so
I get to
cool.
do a lot of different worship stuff on campus.
I love going to Powerhouse. It's such a great time. Do you mind showing me like a couple things on the piano?
Sure.
If you can take that task. I don't know if I can do that task.
Let's learn a C chord.
Okay.
Actually, if you want to sit.
Okay.
That's okay.
Thank you.
So you're going to take your thumb, which is your first finger, and then you're going to put it here.
All right.
And then, oh wow, you already have it. And then third finger here, fifth finger there.
Okay.
And then press those 3 down. There you go. Now, if you want to add some bass, put your left hand, doesn't matter the finger, and hit that note.
With that?
Uh-huh. Perfect. And then shift up 1 note.
Shift up 1 note. Here or here?
Right here.
Okay.
Yeah, that was all the chords, your primary chords for the QC.
Thank you
So honestly,
so
you can
much.
play like hundreds of songs now.
That's great. Alyssa, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to do this with us. It's been a while since I've done piano. I did it for 5 years, but this was a nice blast from the past for me.
For sure.
But that's all the time we have for today. For Bird's Eye View, for YBTV, I'm Sarah Marshall.
Messiah definitely gave me an idea of what my future could look like. It gave me a vision for all the possibilities that existed for my life through the example of alumni, other students that were just a little bit ahead of me in coursework, the professors that came before me and maybe have graduated from Messiah. There's just such a community that existed and a model of success that was proven time and time again through Messiah. And so that was kind of one of the reasons why I chose to come here and why I continue to love it.
Messiah has helped me see my faith anew, mainly through the experiences I've gone with other professors and other students. I think it's important to understand that as Christians, we are all different. We all come from different backgrounds and we have different life experiences. I think it's really important that we get to understand and hear and listen to these people, and it's something that we can take a small part of their life and put into ours.
Welcome back. I'm here with the History Club. AJ and Lindsay, how are you doing tonight?
Good, how are you?
Good, how are you doing? I'm doing pretty well. So to start us off, can you give me a brief explanation of what the History Club is?
History Club's super nonchalant club. We spend a lot of time just finding history in everything. We do genealogy and just different events to get everybody involved, not just history majors or just people within the department.
Right, okay, and what's your favorite subsection of the history department, topic-wise?
I mean, do you want to answer first?
See, since I'm not currently a history major, I'm more criminal justice, so more of the crime side of history and learning more about just how we could prevent and just the past within that. My favorite type of history would probably be World War II, if it was that specific, yeah.
Nice. And what are the typical events that you guys hold?
Genealogy Night's a big one where we get on Ancestry.com, which is right through Murray Library, which is awesome. We also have a trip to Gettysburg, and we've done trips throughout the years to DC, Gettysburg, even just into Harrisburg, which is really cool. And then just other fun events, getting together, doing topic events, just sharing, movie nights, free pizza, free Chick-fil-A, all sorts of stuff like that is always great.
Yeah. We're planning for this end of the year to hopefully meet with the professors, especially in the department, and do a little picnic. We always have a beginning of the year picnic every new year, so hopefully we get to end one before finals.
Yeah, definitely. That all sounds like great fun. So what are some of the roles, what are your roles in the club?
So I'm president of the History Club.
Go ahead. I'm vice president, yeah.
And then we have Nolan Putnam is our secretary and treasurer, and Kellen Amy is our social media manager. And we all just work together, all four of us, and it's just splitting the tasks up. It's, not anybody's higher than the other, and it's just getting stuff done, right?
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, we might have these role names, but we all partake in something, and sometimes it's not each other's jobs. Sometimes you have to step up, but in end goal, we want to make it broad to every student and not just certain students. So,
yeah, definitely. And what is the most rewarding part about being involved in this club?
So, since I'm a transfer student this year at Messiah University, I think the most rewarding thing was engaging with students and just meeting more people through the club. And also on top of that, just exploring history. Our genealogy night was probably one of my favorites because we have Ancestry.com for free through Messiah. So learning about the past and especially where you come from, it's really interesting to see. So,
yeah, definitely. And what would you say makes history particularly interesting to both of you?
I love seeing just how things pan out because people say history repeats itself, and it really does on a lot of occasions. So I'd say that just seeing how it follows and how it tracks and how one event really does lead to the next event.
Right, definitely.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with AJ on that statement. I think the biggest thing that we want to go forward with History Club, as we have 2 more years since we're both sophomores, is try to get to DC and especially see the history in more of the Bible Museum. History, we think of wars and just the big equations that go wrong, but there's a lot more to history, including, since we are on a Christian campus, learning more about the Bible. So as History Club members, we want to make sure it's more broad, so not just narrow.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for that answer. So how would you say the History Club is different from other clubs?
We don't have weekly meetings. There's no big time commitment. It's come as you want, enjoy as, we always have free food, come enjoy, hang out, talk to us, talk to other people. And it's really just nonchalant, just very, very laid back club. And on the trips and stuff, we work with, we have an adjunct professor who was here last semester. He's going to be doing our Gettysburg tour. So just very, very laid back and very family friends and just, we all hang out. We all love one another. It's great.
Yeah, that's awesome. So speaking of it being a nonchalant club, what are some of the ways you make students feel invited?
Just free food is really, I mean, we were talking to Kelly, who was our past president, and she said free food's the way to get kids there. So, and the students love it, especially when we have Chick-fil-A.
Oh, for sure.
So that's probably a big one.
I think another big thing is especially getting the professors involved in our club. Sarah Myers has always been awesome, just communication and getting stuff together. So it's not even her, a lot of the department wants to be involved in students' life. And I think when you come to a college, that is probably one of the most important things of how involved will a professor be. So you can just see how much they want to engage in your social life outside of just academics as well in the club. So,
yeah. Absolutely. So how would you say the club has changed over the years?
I think just every year we get new people, we get new students and new ideas. And it's just a matter of keep building on what we had. And with new officers and new professors come in and new advisors and all sorts of stuff, we just keep going with the flow of what history could be.
Yeah. Right. Nice. And I know that you already talked about the picnic coming up, but are there any other future events?
We have a Gettysburg trip this Sunday. An email went out. If you're interested in that, and you're not on our email list, it's historyclub@messiah.edu. That you could reach out. We'd love to have as many students as we can for a free trip to Gettysburg. We're doing a pizza night with presentations by some of the students in the historical methods class, and then the picnic. Yeah, that'll be our last 3 events of the year.
And then once we figure out the final details for our picnic, we'll release that, exactly what AJ said with our email. We're really excited to hopefully go through with this news of the picnic. It should be a lot of fun, and we hope people come out. So
yeah, it sounds really exciting. Maybe I'll even have to attend.
For sure.
Oh, for sure.
But yeah, if you had to give a 30-second pitch for your club, what would the pitch sound like?
History's for anybody. It's not just for the history majors, the politics majors. We all have a history, so on a genealogy night, come on out and find it. Come see where you're from and see what it's about.
Yeah, that was really well said. Thank you so much. Yeah. And AJ, Lindsay, thank you so much for joining us this evening. After the break, I'll sit down with Alyssa Shutt to talk about her original song. Stay tuned.
I've always had a strong love of the business world, but I always wanted to keep on growing my faith. And what Messiah helped me do was pair my faith with business so I could be a Christian in the workplace. The professors were role models of how to do that. What I learned in class taught me the interpersonal skills and the hard skills of how to carry my faith with me. I really felt prepared to take two things that I loved, my faith and business, and pair that together moving forward.
Messiah's helped me see my faith anew, mainly through the experiences I've gone with other professors and other students. I think it's important to understand that as Christians, we are all different. We all come from different backgrounds and we have different life experiences. I think it's really important that we get to understand and hear and listen to these people, and it's something that we can take a small part of their life and put into ours. Messiah's helped me see my faith anew, mainly through the experiences I've gone with other professors and other students. I think it's important to understand that as Christians, we are all different. We all come from different backgrounds and we have different life experiences. I think it's really important that we get to understand and hear and listen to these people, and it's something that we can take a small part of their life and put into ours.
Welcome back. I'm here with Alyssa Shutt. How are you doing tonight, Alyssa?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well.
Good.
So let's start us off. What are some of your musical interests?
Oh man, my musical interests. I love singing. I sing a lot. I do a lot of worship stuff on campus as well as my church. I love playing the piano. I love playing the guitar. I love listening to music. Lauren Daigle is my favorite artist as of now. So like anywhere where I can be creative in music, I just love to like dive in and learn as much as I can. But yeah.
That's awesome. And when did you start getting interested in music?
I actually, as a kid, I did not like music. My mom is a musician, and I never ever wanted to do anything with music, which was kind of odd. And then all of a sudden, I started taking piano lessons, and I started just falling in love with it. So that was like, I was 9 when I started taking piano lessons. So honestly, from 9 on, I've loved music ever since.
Wow, that's awesome that you found that love, even though you didn't originally
I
appreciate
didn't
music.
like it at all.
But where are some areas on campus that you get to use your musical talents?
So it's primarily worship things. So I am on worship community, so I play for chapel a lot. I'm also a part of the student ministries chapel team as well, so I'll play for that and sing. And I'm also the president of Powerhouse, so I'm in that all the time, and I'll be on it in a few days. So yeah, there's a lot of different worship areas, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, that does sound like fun. And how would you say God has impacted your musical journey?
Yeah, he's the reason for everything. Honestly, with music, we all go through struggles, and I found that music has really been the way that I kind of navigate through things, and I just sing and I play. On easy days, I sing and play on hard days, and God's just shown me that he has a gift and he has a calling for a specific purpose, and he is my motivation for everything and my inspiration.
Amen. How has music impacted you?
Oh man, music has impacted me greatly, to say the least. I've met a lot of my really, really dear and close friends through music and just different things that we go through, and then we both find that we're music lovers. And there's actually another friend that we go to Larndagel concerts every year, and we absolutely love it, and we just escape from the world and from reality. So it really is a connection for me. I connect with a lot of people through music, and it impacts me to just keep writing and to just be creative and see where God's leading me.
That's great. So a little bird told me that you're going to be playing an original song tonight. Will you tell me a little bit about what inspired you to write it?
Yeah, actually, this is one of my, it's not crazy, it's just different. The way I kind of came about this song, I was going to record another song with my friend, and I just didn't like it. I wrote it, and I just wasn't going well. So then the night before I recorded, I was like, you know what, I'm just going to write another song, just really quick. We'll see how this goes. And I did, and I show up to his studio at his house, and I'm like, look, I just wrote this, so bear with me. And it's called All Fear Removed, and it's actually from a friend of mine who has a tattoo with All Fear Removed, and she uses it, she has it like right over her heart, and when she's having anxious thoughts or anxious feelings, she just puts her hand there, and she knows that with God, all fear is removed. So yeah, it's through friendships, which is how music, kind of connected that. And then I realized that, yeah, we all have fears, and especially I'm graduating in May, I have fears about the future, and just knowing that through God and through Jesus, all fear is removed.
That is such a lovely story. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
How long have you been producing music?
Actually, not even a year. I think November, I released my first single. It's called You Are All My Praise. And then I released a song for Christmas called Worthy Is This King. And then this one, I'll be releasing it in May. So yeah, so not long. I'm kind of new, but it's a lot of fun. I'm learning a lot.
So exciting.
Yeah.
And what has creating music taught you?
A lot. It's taught me how to be creative, one. It's taught me how to go by the rules, but also don't be afraid to maybe break a rule here and there in terms of music, in terms of writing, in terms of chord structure and stuff like that, and just see, like, you can go beyond the status quo for sure for music, and you can kind of express in a different way and figure out what instrument is good with it. Yeah, it's really, like, I'll be sitting in class, like in Boyer, and I'm just thinking of like songs, and I'm like, man, I could, yeah. There's a lot of classes I'm not paying attention because I'm just thinking about music. But it's really good. It's a journey for sure.
And is there anybody who inspires you to make music?
Yes. My brother actually got me into writing and recording. He's not a musician by any means. He's actually a fitness trainer. But he always says, like, God's given you this gift. Like, why aren't you, like, pursuing it? And why aren't you going for it? And it was actually because of fear. And he's like, you just need to go. He's like, you just need to go and do it. And I did. And he's one of my biggest supports right now. Also, I said earlier, Lauren Daigle, I absolutely love her music. She's like an escape for me, and I love listening to her, especially on days like today, just putting down the windows in my car and just cranking Lauren Daigle. I absolutely love it. So her style and her rhythm, it's one of my inspirations for sure.
And why do you like her music in particular?
Yeah, one, she's just different. Like she's a Christian artist, but she has a little bit of a different platform than other Christian artists. So she just knows, she has a good balance between how much she's within secular music as well as how much she follows God. And going to her concerts, it's all about Jesus, and I absolutely love it. And she just sees God in a beautiful, beautiful way, and the story of salvation and things like that. It's absolutely beautiful. She's very creative, which I love.
That's awesome. I love that you have that avenue to kind of just like appreciate her music and like realize how far it's come.
Right.
So you are the president of Powerhouse. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
How has that role kind of helped you experience worship music?
Yeah, it was one of my first positions as a worship leader, in a sense, where I was actually leading the team that is leading worship. And with Powerhouse, it's taught me how to lead through adversity. There was some things that happened this semester that completely kind of threw me off a little bit, and God led me, and faculty and staff, and just so leading in Powerhouse, I know I'm not alone, and I have a great, great team who are awesome friends, and I absolutely love them with everything, and they deserve so much. But just working together and just really wanting God's Spirit within the room as we're leading together and seeing what that looks like as a team.
I love that. Thank you once again so much for sharing. And that is going to be all for Talking with Alyssa, but right after this break, we're going to hear her song. So join us after that. We'll be right back.
I wanted to go to a Christian college, and then I toured at some other Christian colleges, and Messiah felt like it had a really good balance between both a serious education program and also having like a way to help their students like further their faith and push their faith.
We have 3 concentrations for the biology major: biomedical, organismal, and the general concentration.
I did tons and tons of college visits, and Messiah's biology program was just unparalleled.
So we teach our courses in the context of a Christian liberal arts education. We have rigorous coursework, hands-on experience, opportunities for internship, study abroad, to prepare them for a future as professionals while we're helping them grow in their faith.
Field experience for us could be shadowing doctors or dentists or veterinarians. One is this Healthcare in the Developing World course that we teach in Zambia. Students will shadow faculty and doctors there at the Macha Hospital, which is associated with Johns Hopkins University. There's just something about a field experience that just doesn't happen in a book.
It's definitely been very intense, but at the same time, all that work has provided a lot of opportunities and other jobs that I've gotten over the summer because of my academic career.
It's very rare to find a master's of music program that has this online component along with great flexibility.
The graduate programs in music at Messiah University consist of a Master of Music and Conducting and a Master of Music Education. The graduate program is the largest of its kind that is a NASM accredited program in the United States.
I enjoyed that the program gave me the opportunity to have so many hands-on experiences, even if it was an online class. I was practicing my conducting. I was getting real feedback from professors on how I was doing with those skills.
Messiah University has been teaching online for over 10 years. That gives us the experience that we need to really have those personal moments with our students no matter where they are.
It's flexible and the quality of the education is unparalleled. One of the things that I love the most is that the professors build personal connections with their students.
Time after time, relationships are forged between students and faculty alike, and those relationships stand the test of time.
Welcome back to YB Tonight. Alyssa, take it away.
Thank you.
In the lowest valley, I can claim your right here.
Alyssa, that was truly so beautiful. It was such a privilege to listen to. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in. On behalf of myself and the crew, have a good night, Messiah University.